I know how challenging it can be to buy secondhand / vintage clothes online, so don't worry, I'm going to plug you today with all the best places where you can buy good secondhand / vintage clothes. I'm going to plug you with not one, not two, but 6 different places you can buy vintage clothes online. I'm giving you all this knowledge and you haven't subscribed. That's nuts. But the first place I'm going to tell you about is the first and the worst place, and that is the Grailed app. It is a lot better if you're in the US rather than in the UK. There's also like hypebeast stuff like Palace, Supreme, stuff more in that realm that you can get on there for a pretty good price, and a lot of shoes that you can buy for resale on there. So there are some good steals to be had, but as I said, if you're in the US, you've probably got a lot better chance of getting them, because in the shoe category there was 110,000 listings in the US and only 2,500 in the UK. So that says a lot, but obviously you can order from the US. It just depends how long you want to wait. But moving Grailed out of the way and moving on to the second place that I'm going to be telling you about, and it is quite a generic place to buy secondhand and vintage, but that is Depop. There are so many bangers that can be had on Depop. Like recently I've picked up so many steals, like it's actually insane. You do have to look for a decent amount of time to find the really good steals, but if you just want like average kind of steals in a way, there are loads to be had and loads of really great priced items on there. There's probably a little bit more market for girls than there are for boys, but don't get me wrong, if you are a boy you can still get loads of really sick vintage and secondhand clothes on there. And some of the many benefits of Depop are that you can get pretty much anything you're looking for on there. You can buy Supreme, you can buy vintage, you can literally get anything. And Depop is a proper safe app to use if you just don't buy from people that have no reviews and giving stuff away for stupidly cheap, because then you're probably going to get scammed. But apart from that, Depop has really cracked down on like their security, and it has made the app a million times better. The third place is if you're feeling a little bit more risky and feeling maybe a little bit of like a mystery box or something like that, and that is Pre-Love Kilo. On their Pre-Love Kilo website they offer so many different options. Like you can get a random box of 1 kg for £15, or if you're feeling a little bit more closed, get yourself a mystery box of 5 kg. I've heard so many good things about these mystery boxes. You can get so much good vintage designer out of them, and pretty much most of the time the stuff will be A grade. But personally, if I was you and if you're located in the UK, just get yourself down to an event. They travel all around the UK pretty much every weekend. It's so much better than ordering online because you can actually pick what you want, and they're just amazing. Like I've been so many times. I even picked up this Antisocial Social Club hoodie on there, and it is fully legit, so that says a little bit about it. The fourth place is pretty overlooked, and that is a Facebook Marketplace. You can get so many steals on Facebook Marketplace, and it is so underrated. But it's obviously a little bit hit or miss depending on where you're located on, and obviously it's going to be hit or miss just because it is like a public listing app. Like they don't have regular stock. There are definitely so many steals to be had on there though. I've seen people pick up Nike shoes for like £40, pretty much brand new, and I've seen people pick up like Stone Island, Vivienne Westwood, like high-end designer for a fraction of the price. Obviously just be a little bit careful who you are meeting, and as well it does help massively if you do have a car, because it will mean you'll be able to travel to a wider like radius. But even if your only mode of transport is walking, you'll definitely be able to get some absolute steals on there. The fifth place you can get vintage is Vinted. There are so many steals to be had on Vinted. It's pretty much exactly the same as Depop, like same concept, same kind of app platform, but I feel like I've seen and bought so many more like steals on there. Like my most recent pickup from Vinted was these 2 Supreme t-shirts. I got a Supreme Rocks t-shirt, if I can hang it the wrong way around. If I can hang it the wrong way around, if I can show you the right way around. Didn't get half of them words right. But I got the Supreme Rocks t-shirt, and I got this Supreme like embroidered t-shirt only for £50 each, which really is quite insane considering they're fully legit. This probably retail was about £50 or about £40-ish. So to get both of them for 50 is an absolute bargain. But I know Vinted as well is really good for sellers. Like even Retro Jamie has just moved over to Vinted solely and fully stepped away from Depop. So that says a lot about Vinted and how good of a platform it is. Our 6th and our final place, unfortunately. Aww. I know, don't get too sad, don't get too sad. There's more videos coming soon, every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday. But coming back, the sixth place where you can buy vintage are vintage stores which are based online. There are so many of them about. A lot of top sellers on Depop have their own website that they try and move a lot of their traffic through. You can pick up a lot better steals normally on there than you can through people's Depop just because they've got to pay less fees. So they're just able to give it away for a cheaper price. Probably the biggest vintage store that's online is Old Vintage. I think that's just because they've absolutely killed it on the search engine optimization. If you type in vintage like wholesale, I think they pretty much come up straight away. But if you want to find websites that are linked to people's Depop shops, what I would do, go onto top sellers Depop pages and find their Instagram, and it'll probably be on their Instagram bio. They don't like to put it in their Depop bio because some people have been banned because of it, which is quite insane. But I really do hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope you dropped a like on it. I hope you subscribed because you're going to be missing out if you haven't. But I do hope to see you in another video.